Yo, 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 what's going on, NFL fans, Atlanta Falcons fans? We came through right quick, man. Do a quick pop-up show, man. This quarterback situation sounds like it's finna fire right back up, man, and I hate to see it.
Lord have
Um,
mercy.
we knew that there was a possibility, mainly because the media going to try to pump things out to make us think, and then rightfully so, they got a right to talk just like we do. Figure, freedom of speech and all that good stuff. But Michael Penix, Kirk Cousins, that situation not going anywhere anytime soon. And getting off into a 1-2 start going to week 4 against a Washington team that's pretty to me pretty much one of the better teams um in the NFC, not only the NFL but the NFC.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, man, you know what to do, man. Tell the people what's up before we get this thing to rolling, man.
Hey, man, well, you already know, just like you said. I mean, you started off right by saying that this Kirk Cousins thing and Michael Penix thing wasn't going away. And we already knew that, honestly, when having two quarterbacks on the team that are capable to win games, it's just this is the life that you're going to live. You're going to hear, like, when one guy does bad, you're going to hear calling for the other guy and vice versa. So it's just like, honestly, I'm not surprised at where we're at, but we're definitely going to get into it. So what's up, chat?
Yeah, well, you got a starting caliber quarterback, man, and two starting caliber quarterbacks. That's gonna always be the problem. And Curtis, the veteran, and I heard a stupid rebuttal the other day, man, about Kurt was way ahead of the curve with Zach Robinson. Of course he was. As I told y'all, he's the veteran. He was helping Zach Robinson last year. He was Zach Robinson's eyes on the field and let
He
him know what he
was.
saw and what was going on. Michael Penix hadn't got to that point yet. So y'all got to chill
No.
with that, man. Y'all got to chill with that. Because I mean, Penix would eventually get there, but as a 12-year vet, you're supposed to be able to see what's going on. You're supposed to
13.
be able to
I'd say 13
call
year.
right. You're supposed to be able to call audibles when needed. I mean, that's the thing you learn as a veteran. And the crazy part is Kirk Cousins was in the same type offense with Mike Shanahan in Washington when they drafted RG3 back in the day. So they know this system to a T, and it gives him an advantage point blank period. But I'm gonna say what's up to the chat right quick before we get to going. Ski, what's up, man? Fall for life. Nate W, what's up, my guy? Frisco Gaming. Robert Blackman. Miss Carey, what's good? She said there was a risk with keeping Kurt as
What's
a
that?
backup. Anytime Penix has a bad game, they'll be calling for Kurt. That's absolutely true. Raheem
Absolutely.
has lost the locker room. I
What
definitely
happens
agree
when you
with
got
that.
two quarterbacks?
I definitely agree with that, Ski. And I said that, yesterday on my boy Nate. I'm sorry, on my boy Juan's show. I said maybe they haven't still recovered from that 6-3 start and losing that heartbreak in New Orleans. He probably lost the locker room after that game. Because a team that loses 7 games and on the backslide and losing talent along the way, nowhere in the hell you should lose that game. So maybe they overlooked that game just like they just overlooked this Carolina game. And you can't really respect the coach after that. Let's keep it real.
But man, we know we're in the NFL. You can't overlook anybody, even when they're sorry. You still got to go out there and do your job.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we still got to win games. We're in the win game business. We're in the winning business, period. And we already don't
Yeah.
talked about it. You can have all the good intention, but without that good action, what do you have? We're in the winning league business.
Yeah.
So
And as a head coach, man, and being in the situation Raheem is in right now, knowing he got to win because if he doesn't, I think get us a playoff berth, he's definitely gone, man. I know I talked about 2 years on the contract and in the buyout and all of that, but at the same time, man, the,
definitely
the
got a
roster, the
buyout.
roster that you've been given is one of the best rosters on paper in the NFL, young or old. It don't matter who's on the team. You have one of the most talented teams in the league. There's no reason why you should be struggling like this. And leadership is definitely the question. Big John, what's up, my guy? What's good? Kara said, I pray we can get right Sunday. Must win game in game 4. And it's crazy to say that. But really is a must win. Can't be 1-3 going to the bye
Oh,
facing the
it's
Bills.
definitely a must.
And then the crazy part about that, after the Bills, you play the 49ers. So
Right.
it don't get no easier. Um, said on the schedule, not Chrysler, sorry, typo.
You
But we know what you meant. Yeah, we know what you meant. Larry, what's up, my guy? Tend to go FPV. This headline is bunker
I was saying
sellers.
that myself. Go ahead.
No need for this mess. Kurt ain't getting anything resembling a chance. I mean, look, I made the headline as to the video that I'm about to show y'all. That was exactly their topic. Michael Penix is not the guy for the Atlanta Falcons. And I was kind of pissed when I saw the topic because I know what kind of talent he has, but at the same time, you got to look at the coaching point blank, period. If coaching is not the problem, then what is? I want to know.
And don't put it on us, y'all. Well, again, we're about to get into this video, and that is why the title was named the way it is, because that's what the media is doing. Not A1 and Smitty. Not A1 and Smitty. The media. The other media, the outside media.
Go dog, so you breaking up. Fade Economics said, come on, y'all. He's won one playoff game. I mean, we know this, Fade. We know this, man. Look, we know this. Miss Carey said before we get started, Miss Carey said, shout out to Reverend McLeod. Really appreciate his honesty after 30-0 loss on the line. I hope everyone in the locker room has the same mentality as him. Otherwise, they in trouble. And what she mean by that? He said everybody should change the way they're thinking right now after a shutout loss against a mediocre team. Basically, what he's saying. And if they mentality don't change to win football games, the whole team in trouble. And he absolutely correct. Because if their mentality don't change,
he said it won't nobody be here.
Right. That means the coaching mentality.
That's what he was saying. There won't nobody be here.
Yeah, you definitely got to make a decision at that point. And Matt Ryan said the best. Kirk Cousins had his chance. If y'all missed that video, go check out that reaction video. He's had his chance to be the starter. He messed it up. And it wasn't all his fault because injuries happening and that shoulder went out and he wasn't right the second half of the season. So yeah, he's had his chance. But again, don't jump on me. Don't jump on A1 because at the end of the day, the video that we're about to show y'all is exactly the title
from the media.
Yeah, the title of the video is Michael Penix is not the answer for the Atlanta Falcons, and y'all can see it at the top of the screen. But let's get to listen to this thing right quick.
Cody, our quarterback over here, is Michael Penix Jr. the future of Atlanta?
If I'm Atlanta, I hope he is. He has to be. I mean, you spend the top 10 draft pick on him in 2024 after you paid Kirk Cousins $180 million, and you turn around in that next draft and say, we're taking Penix Jr. with the top 10 pick. I mean, it has to work out.
They guaranteed Kirk Cousins $100 million.
Guaranteed. Yeah. And that's because we guarantee you're going to be the guy. And I'm just curious to know when that happened. Did they know? Because obviously Kirk didn't know. I wonder when they realized either we made a mistake paying Kirk or they decided the whole time we're not going to say anything and we're going to go draft him. So it's crazy. I know it surprised a lot of people, myself included. But it didn't surprise me because Michael Penix isn't a good quarterback. It just surprised me because of the Kirk Cousins situation. But I'll say this. I know he started out bad these last couple of games, but it's way too early to know what his future is going to look like in Atlanta. It's 6 starts. And you can go back and look at all these great quarterbacks that played. A lot of them struggle in those first 6 games. And there's also some things on film with Penix that gives you some optimism, gives you some confidence going forward. And I spent some time.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident.
Well, he basically put it like
you definitely can't sue the driver after a car accident.
Yeah, but yeah, basically what he was saying is they paid him, they got to trust him, and trust me, I get that part. But at the end of the day, think about this: you paid Kirk Cousins $62 million last year, and paying him the $62 million. You got to play him, and you got to wait till he's just not that guy anymore. But honestly, he isn't.
Yeah.
But
Smitty for me, this is the last time. Okay. Like, first of all, can you hear me? Cause I know I'm coming through some wooded area, but still.
Yeah,
all
I
right.
can hear you.
All right, so this is the last time I'm gonna ever say anything about this because it's all hindsight and there's nothing we can do about it now. The Falcons should have did one or two things. They should have either ran with Kirk Cousins because you paid them all that money, ran with Kirk Cousins, and drafted somebody in the defensive department, or you should have just did what I wanted to do, and that means not even getting no older quarterback, not getting no experienced quarterback, none of that stuff, none of these old relics like I had called them back then, and you just draft your guy, roll with the punches. We weren't going to win a Super Bowl last year anyway. And anybody who thought that, bless your heart. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to call you stupid. I'm not going to call you crazy because I just wouldn't do you like that. But bless your heart. And at the same time, it's like, I feel like they should have did one of those two things, like either roll with Kirk or don't roll with Kirk, because now this 2 quarterback thing is really causing more issue than what it should for the Atlanta Falcons. Like, I don't care less about what other team goes through, but for us, it's just causing extra noise that shouldn't be around.
Right. And what I would have did if I knew I was going to take Penix, and the crazy part, this is where it all boils back to what I said yesterday. Arthur Blank got to be held accountable in some aspect too, because he was the one that handpicked Michael Penix after they went up there and saw a private workout at the University of Washington to see him do his thing. So I'm going to hold Arthur Blank accountable too. And like you said, if we were going to go the Michael Penix route, bring in a Jameis Winston to start a couple of games, just like Russ just did in New York, but they just changed over to Jackson Dart. Spend less money, go get a quarterback, spend less money, and do what you need to do. And then if Penix, you feel like he's ready to go about 4 or 5 games, then you make that switch, and then you have, I'm just telling you, just gonna have, an easier quarterback situation, because you know what you get out of Jameis, and you don't pay him a lot of money. And if you don't pay him a lot of money, you just move on, and you just let Penix take his lumps. Now, if he takes his lumps last year, like you said, he take his lumps last year, then he's a little bit farther along this year. But 6 games, man, you
reps,
just can't.
I'm just saying reps matter though, fam, because again, I really believe that the more reps Michael Penix can get, the better he'll be. He's in the mold. My thing is, people talk about, oh yeah, in college you don't have a preseason. We are on a whole nother stratosphere. College ain't nothing compared to NFL level, because if it was, you could have college teams go in and beat NFL teams, but you can't. NFL is the cream of the crop. NFL is the prime example of everything. That's the goal of what everyone wants to get to. You cannot treat college and NFL in the same sentence just because they're a similar sport. They're different animals, though. They're different breeds. So it's just like having a black cat, and I hate to use the term, but a Black Panther. They're 2 totally different things. So it's my thing is, you got to get this guy some reps, bro. Keep him with the reps. I believe last year, if we would have had an up and down season, at the end of the day, our guy is getting his reps, gaining his confidence, so he can come out and stick a stake in everybody's heart this year. Right now, he is going through his preseason. He is going through all these situations. He's going to make mistakes. But the thing about it is, everyone sees the potential is there. Now, potential is what it is until it's actually consistent. But at the same time, guys, I'm not worried about Michael Penix at all. I'm worried about who's coaching Michael Penix. That's my concern.
Yeah, absolutely. And Raheem Morris, he backed himself into a corner because you had that very first year to work out the bugs, work out the kinks. And with Michael Penix being the starter last year, you got leeway that year. He can make all the mistakes he needs. He can make all the mistakes he wants. Because guess what? If you lose, no matter where you lose or how you lose, if you end up with a top 10, losing record and end up in the top 10, you got a better chance of making the right move. And yeah, Penix was the guy going into this draft. I'm sorry. If you probably would have ended up, not at 15, but at number 6, number 7, that would have been fine because you had that year to make mistakes. And that's why they give you that first year to do that, to work out all the kinks. But since, he put all his eggs in one basket, brought in Kirk Cousins, trying to win now, and it worked for the first 9 games. But that philosophy got stale as the season went on. And when you do make the change, now is no turning back. And we've seen this over the NFL during the years. And Ryan Case, what they're saying is weak. But when you get
I ain't gonna lie, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, when you get a media son to talk about, that's what they're gonna do. But it's another part to the video. Yeah, is another part
And
of the video.
and my part is, guys, I hate to always say this, but it is what it is. We are the Atlanta Falcons. We are the Atlanta Falcons. So as long as there's something, we give them something to talk about, they're like, oh, there they go again, giving us another talking point. I'm sick of it, and I know you guys are too, and it is weak. But again, we got to stop giving them the bulletin board material.
DJ, I agree, man. You can't bitch him out the one bad game. I mean, and the thing that as I looked at this interview, I still don't see nobody holding Zach Robinson accountable. It's just talking about the quarterback.
Nobody.
When are you going to hold the coaches accountable? Because he is the one calling the plays. He's scheming up in the film room. He's the one supposed to be teaching Michael Penix, developing Michael Penix. But at the end of the day, I mean, it seems like they're just blind leading the blind. Let's keep it honest. But let's look at this talking point right quick.
It just seems like everybody wants to put it on real quick. It just seems like everyone wants to put it on Penix because that's the easy way out. And I don't like that easy either because he's a rookie. Absolutely. This is essentially his rookie season. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. What about the veterans who's supposed to coach him up? I hate to bring it up, but we were talking about this years ago with even Dez.
Right.
So we still there.
Yeah, still in the same spot. But let's listen to this back end of the conversation right quick.
Because I'm a big Baker fan, and I've never in Kirk Cousins' time in Washington, Dallas, Washington rivalry.
We talked about that earlier.
I love playing against Kirk Cousins because he will throw it to you when most needed. You know,
yes, he would.
He'll throw a pick in the end zone. He did one in Dak in Zeke's rookie year at Washington. I thought we were about cooked, and he throws it to Barry Church in the end zone. Remember
42?
Yeah, 42. Yeah. And
he's in Jacksonville. Yeah, I remember Church.
And it just that's a good point. And it flipped the game. Because it's Kirk Cousins. He's going to turn into, as the GM called him once, Kirk Cousins. You know, like he's going to be Kurt more than Kirk. And yet he knows how to play. And right now he probably knows way more how to play than Michael Penix knows how to play. Right?
Yeah, but he's a second-year player.
So you put him in there, and he's probably going to look pretty good.
My thing is that's the main reason why I did not want Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Okay. And he's probably thinking, could I win a few more games right now with Kirk? Well, he probably could. So, but they kind of made their bed with Michael. They plunged and cut bait. So you have to just hang with it. And now you got to develop your rookie quarterback on the fly, right?
Yep,
I don't like that.
There you go.
I think they got to stick.
There you go.
Regardless, it's not like the Jackson Dart situation to where you started with Russ. Okay, it's not working. Now we're throwing Dart in there. Even though I don't like it, you went into an entire offseason saying this is your football team. Here's the keys to the vet. You take over. We need you to be that guy. And you're 3 games in, and now we're like, I don't know now. And I know you
do it at 3 games in, though.
No, you can't. You can't. But I don't think you can do it. I mean,
if you start hypothetically, if they 1-2 now, if they go 1-4, you just say fuck the season.
I don't think it's that point. I think if we get closer to maybe 1-7,
the 1-7 season is over with.
Yeah, but you got this is your 8th overall pick that you put it. I mean, you.
Well, this is why he's more. If
I
he
get it.
Go trash
that's
this year,
that player. That's
then
the same
he might
thing
get his ass fired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my dogs, bro.
No,
1-4. Somebody got to come say this shit.
Yeah.
And hey, we got Kurt.
Wait a minute.
I'm not really a cupcake.
Wait a minute, Akeem. Now, first of all, shout out to Akeem to lead because he is making some good points. You know, he did and throughout that video. So I will give him his shout out. But I ain't gonna lie to you. 1-4, 1-5, with the Buccaneers playing the way that they are, clicking on all cylinders, the way that the NFC that is shaping up already in the early beginning. And I'm just gonna keep it real. Yeah, I just had to do a dramatic pause. If we go 1-4, 1-5, we don't have the coaching staff to bring us back. I said it.
So you really trust the coaching staff to bring you back out the 1-5 start?
Bro, we do. No, I said we do not. We do not have the coaching staff.
Oh, okay. I was
to come back.
Making the clip because that's for everybody in the back who was trying to listen. But look, I'm telling you, I hear Akeem Talib. I hear what he's saying. If we 1-4, you got to have a veteran guy to bring us back. No.
This is the choice you made.
you got to stick with the choice you made. Like I said, if they don't make the choice to bring in Kirk Cousins last year, Michael Penix takes his lumps last year, we way past this point. Because guess what? Those 6 games that he's played between the last part of last season, the first 3 games of this season, all those games at the beginning of last season, and he going through those growing pains. And like I told y'all last week, now you got to take your lumps with the basically with the rookie quarterback. Basically, you got to let him learn on the fly. And look, I'm telling y'all, and I done seen people say it, but I said it long before anybody. I think Zach Robinson is pretty much worried about that Oklahoma State job, something that he's been known for months. Because even before the college football season started, they were saying Mike Gundy was on the hot seat, and they said Zach Taylor.
They did.
Zach Robinson was likely the guy to replace him because he's a former Oklahoma State quarterback. He's one of the hot coaching candidates. I don't know why. But really, honestly,
he's new. He's new, bro. He's fresh. He's new. It'd be like that.
And basically with him, being still young and the way coaches are in college football, maybe his play calling work in college. But in the pros, it's not working because he don't have to develop a quarterback in college. He can just take whoever in college, work with them, and make sure they just make plays. Because college is not as fast. The IQ is not as high. So maybe he'll work in college. But
are you sure, man? Are you sure, Smitty? Because the way that we are running our offense, the way that this team is being ran right now, you would think that apparently college and NFL is the same thing.
Yeah, it is a faster version. But when you recruiting, a lot of them don't looking at nil money and they looking at other things.
Yeah. Man, that's all crap, man. At the end of the day, man, you don't win and drafted Michael Penix, the guy you should have. I mean, the quarterback that you should have drafted from the beginning. My thing is, you could have had the opportunity to build around Michael Penix, and even if he's struggling, you do have pieces around that can help out the team in his growing pains. But trying to go with the notion to flip flop and be flip-flopping throughout the season with quarterbacks. Okay, this guy's doing good. I don't want to go there because we've been there before. Remember, we were swapping Dez and Taylor Heineke and Marcus Mariota and everybody else. We've already done all that. We've seen that movie before. Let's stick with a guy for a change. Let's like a guy for our future, not a guy who is on his way out.
And that's the thing, man. If you should have that mindset, which they should have that mindset. That's why you got to draft the guy you draft. If that's who the owner loves, you bring in another, like I said, a Desmond Ritter or Tyrod Taylor, somebody like that. Jameis Winston, just a veteran, just to fill a spot and be a
legit bridge.
Right. And look, it wouldn't even be a bridge though, because if he's the number 8 guy in the draft, that means you putting your future on his shoulders. So now he's been here a year, he's dealt with the media, and now that he's been thrust into the starting spot since last year, now the pressure on his shoulders. And Zach Robinson haven't pulled none of that pressure off his shoulders. Why? Because he's not putting him in a position to win. He's not developing him properly. Because as I said, that throw that he made, that pick six that he made, yeah, I know after he threw it, he knew it was a mistake. But you got to, as a coach, you got to be in the film room and show him what not to do. Like I said, the way that quarterback was lined up.
He just threw that one. He just,
It was look at your eyes to see which way you were going to throw the ball. And then he said, "Oh, he's gonna go to Bijan. Let me cut this route right quick."
But my thing is, you can sit on the routes when they become predictable, though, bro. And especially later on in the game, that second one, even though the pressure was getting to him, at the same time, the pressure was getting to him, but the cornerback, and I know that Ray failed, but the cornerback was already reestablishing, shifting his hips, reestablishing his position to go drive on the ball. He already knew what was coming. So it's just like, at the end of the day, man, that's why I go back to saying it's got to be a whole team effort to get this thing right. I understand, Zach Robinson coming to the sideline, and I do hope, even though I know they kind of try to pick fun at it, I do hope that it changes things, because I do like the coaches being on the sideline with the guys more so than trying to be up in the booth. Because regardless where you be, you're not going to be able to see everything happening at one time. You're never going to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Frisco gamers, everybody want to blame pitchers. What about the offensive line? Frisco, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The offensive line
been okay.
When he got sacked those 2 times, that was on Penix because he held the ball too long. And the wide receiver wasn't getting good releases off the line, and they weren't getting open. So I mean, that's to me, that's a continuity problem with the receivers, the quarterback, and the offensive coordinator. I mean, the offensive line, yeah, they banged up on the right side, but they've held their own the first 3 games. I mean, Wilkinson struggled that first game, but once he got it going, he was straight. So now you can't use him for no excuse no more. He's done his job right.
I will play devil's advocate on the line, because I do believe that's the reason why we're in pistol so much, because we don't trust Wilkinson to hold up the entire game. And you don't want to be, I mean, we're already predictable, but you don't want to be like too predictable, because we already are getting recognized when Charlie Warner is in the game. Teams know what we're about to run. Literally, we're about to run. So it's just like,
right. Go ahead. My bad.
Go ahead.
But yeah,
no, go ahead.
Yeah, man. What I was about to say, go back and look at that other video I did about the way Dan Orlovsky and Marcus Spears was breaking down the Falcon pistol offense. Bijan Robinson should not be 7-8 yards in the backfield every single play, trying to get decent runs. If you line him up on the center and put a fullback in front of, or even a double tight end set, if you do either one of those, Bijan Robinson hits those holes much faster. He breaks a couple of those runs, because that run that he almost broke week 2, he was against Minnesota. He was probably one broken tackle from breaking an 80-yard run. And the only reason why he didn't, because he got such a late start, 7-8 yards in the backfield. If he gets, a quick start, 2 to 3 yards in the backfield, then I mean, I can see him breaking more runs. But the pistol offense is basically a shotgun with the linebacker lined up behind the quarterback. It's another version of the shotgun, but the quarterback is in a shorter window, but he don't have to, look behind his back or, use his blind side. He's always looking straight, and I get that part. But when the coaches don't put you in position to make plays, it's going to be the same thing over and over. I mean, in Frisco, it is the coaching, point blank, period. Because I feel like after a whole year, Penix should be much further ahead than what he is. If he cannot audible out of plays, that's going to be a problem going forward, because guess what? No matter what he sees on the field, and he doesn't know how to audible, he doesn't know how to check down, and he doesn't know how to read hot routes, you're going to see more sacks, you're going to see more plays for losses, and you're going to see more turnovers. So, you just got to, as a coaching staff, you just got to do better at put him in a position to win.
Yeah, but my thing is, and this is what we're going to see really on Sunday and moving forward for the rest of the season, man. If we have the right people, at the helm to really do these things for Michael Penix, put him in the right positions. Now, I'm not going to make this woe is me on Penix thing, because Penix has things he has to work on too. We know that, but we know that though. He's a young guy, essentially his rookie season. He's going to make mistakes. We've given guys who are way worse, yes, I said it, way worse than him, longer leashes and opportunities. I'm giving Michael Penix as long as I have to, respectfully, that's reasonable to get this ship right. But I will say this, if you do lose this game on Sunday and the Buccaneers beat the Eagles, and I'm not sure if the Buccaneers are on bye when we go on bye. Let's just say the Buccaneers win their next 2 games and we lose the next 2 games. The season is over with anyway. It's all about trying to get reps and all that stuff like that anyway. The only reason why I say the season is over is because I highly doubt that we have the guys that can rally the troops for us to make a strong comeback. And if I'm wrong, then go prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? If it comes to that. Regardless, this is a must-win game on Sunday. Michael Penix has to play well. Kirk Cousins has to stay on the bench. What else? What else I got for you? Raheem and Zach Robinson have to be on the same page, and they have to make sure that this offense is clicking. I'm not worried about Jeff Ulbrich. Jeff Ulbrich is going to have that defense together. But the offense, the head coach, the quarterback, everybody got to be on the same page. Or we're going to have Marcus Mariota with his quitting self walking out of Mercedes-Benz waving at all the fans saying, ha, 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 got one back on you. And I just don't want to see that. I don't want us to go through that, Falcon fans. We deserve better than that.
Let me say this, Keith, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I ain't ruining nobody quarterback expectation. Every quarterback in the NFL gonna have expectation up to some point. And I feel like Michael Penix should be further ahead than what he is. And you keep talking about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a veteran quarterback. Patrick Mahomes hasn't been the same since Tyreek Hill left. But guess what? He have an offensive coordinator and head coach that knows how to adjust. And that's something that Zach Robinson doesn't know how to do. And really, Raheem Morris doesn't know how to do it. Until they learn how to adjust as the game goes on, they're going to keep being problems. And I get expectation, but I don't care if you're a rookie or what, or a veteran. Every quarterback has expectation. That expectation is to win football games and the expectation to lead his team. And Michael Penix is just not at that point yet. And that's not on him. That goes back to coaching. If a coach don't put you in a position to win or lead a team, guess what? Mm-hmm. It's going to make you look bad even when it's not your fault. So, I mean, look.
Yeah. And like the thing about Patrick Mahomes, no, I was about to say, just to add to that point about Mahomes, I honestly think the Chiefs are just like on their way back down. You know how every team goes up and has their time to where they're up? I honestly just believe the Chiefs are going back down. Travis Kelce, he's about to get married. The offensive line has taken some hits here and there. They've missed skilled players. Guys get hurt. Guys are suspended. It's a lot of different things going on with the Chiefs, but one constant they do have is good coaching all around there, and they're going to continue to fight week after week after week after week. So you can't sleep on them. But that comes from, again, because they've lost a lot.
Man, Carrie, so I'm with you, man. Easy to blame Penix for Sunday, but if you really look at it on a deeper level, it's the coaching staff, man, is the cause of most of our issues, and that's just point blank, period. Because look at it. We talking about the bad, what's going on with the offense, but look at what's good, what's going on with the defense, and that's because of Jeff Ulbrich, Nate Ollie, and Jerry Gray. So that's the positive as to what's going on. So it's coaching in that aspect as well. So we're not going to just look at, just because of what's going on in the offense is coaching, it's going on with the defense too. Because even though we gave up 30 points, one of them was a pick six, the other two was a short field. That's 3 touchdowns right there. If they don't score those 3 touchdowns, it's 9-0. So the defense did their job, 224 yards on defense. But when they're on the field,
and a lot of those yards were garbage yards.
Right.
193 when they scored that last touchdown. So I'm like,
okay, if you say I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's your opinion, and it's my opinion. But I'm telling you, every quarterback got expectation. I don't give a damn if it's their first year or their last. Every quarterback is expected to lead a team and expected to win. And you can say I'm wrong if you want. That's your opinion. But trust me, if the coaching staff would do a better job and Penix was ahead of where he was in his development, we would not even be having this conversation. And piss poor play calling.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I actually like the discord between the two of you guys on that, because really, I feel like you can make an argument for both, to be honest. As far as like Penix should be further ahead, but you also can make the argument with, with Penix not so being so farther ahead. But so it's just like, that's a good discord between the two of you, though.
Yeah, because look at Josh Allen, who's one of the better quarterbacks in the league right now. When they changed up his offensive coordinator and Ken Dorsey got there, Ken Dorsey understood his mechanics. He understood Josh Allen could run the football. So guess what? He started drawing them more plays for Josh Allen to use his legs. And I think Joe Brady is there now, and Joe Brady is doing the same thing. And that's why I said if Mike McDaniel, a guy who's been in the West Coast offense that they're running, who was here with Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan, if they'll go out and get a guy like that, he comes in, I think he can develop Penix, because look what he's done with Tua. They talked about Tua on strength all the way through the draft. But guess what? When it comes to throwing the deep ball, Tua is one of the best in the business. He's right there with Russell Wilson. He's right there with Josh Allen. So I feel like it's just all about who you got coaching your quarterback, man, at the end of the day. And that's why they were talking on this show. That's why they were saying, you know, could you go back to Kirk Cousins at 1-4? No. You got to just take it and keep it moving.
No, you cannot. Kirk Cousins is emergency only. And I know, don't get me wrong, it's like, well, isn't it an emergency if we're 1-5 or 1-4? To a degree, but at the same time, you have your guy who's going to be your future. If people remember, like Peyton Manning was like 3-13 his first year. It was another guy 1-16,
and he led the league in interceptions.
Led the league in interceptions. So it's just like at the end of the day, and I remember back then, people calling Peyton Manning a bust in his rookie year. I remember that.
But Ryan Leaf was the real buzz. We knew that. And
you know, hey, shout out to Ryan Leaf though, man. He has changed his life around. He's all cleaned up and he's doing this thing. So I shout out to Ryan Leaf.
But guess what? When Peyton Manning started out that bad, what did they do? He had Marvin Harrison there when he got there. He had Marshall Faulk for 1 year. And what do they do after that? They go get Marshall Faulk's replacement in Edgerrin James, who's a dude who's a Hall of Famer. They go out and get Reggie Wayne, so they keep building weapons around him as he starts to develop. So this is what the Falcons have done before Michael Penix even got to that point. And I hear, you know, and I'm gonna do a video on it probably soon. But is Drake London really the receiver of the future? Yeah, I know, you know, he's put up good numbers last year, but is he a true number one? Or is he a glorified possession receiver? That's something, you know, that's something I might talk about soon.
But sound like you want me in on that one too, man.
But Keith, but look, Keith, I'm telling you, you answered your own question. He's got to hone in on his skills. He's got to develop to get to that point. We want him to just come out like we playing Madden on the football game, just come out and start making all these awesome throws. I mean, every quarterback that's been a quarterback has had to develop to some certain extent. And most of the time, the Joe Montanas had Bill Walsh, the John Elways had Shanahan and Belichick. The Phil Simms had Belichick and Parcells. It's just all in who's your coach to start off your career and put you in the right direction. And I'm starting to see and wonder if Raheem is just that guy. Now, as I've said, and this is why I said what I said, if he goes out and put veterans on his coaching staff instead of these first-year guys, hey, we could be further along than we are. Because I think Mike Smith brought in veteran coaches. Dan Quinn had veteran coaches when they came. So like Chris said, trying to start your own coaching tree is probably going to backfire. It's going to backfire.
I really believe that's what it was, man. I think he wanted to start his own coaching tree, and you know, to have it like, you know, everyone has the Sean McVay tree, and and some people even consider him coming off of it since he won a Super Bowl with them. But at the end of the day, we know that he came from Mike Tomlin. You know, we came here from Mike Tomlin, and I believe he just wanted to start his coaching tree, get a jump start on that. So that's why, you know, I hire a couple of guys who were trying to get them a shot in this business. And then they can say, hey, I came from Raheem Morris' coaching tree. And it just isn't working out right now, man. It just isn't, to be honest.
Roadmaster,
we're just being
Roadmaster, you my guy. You've been tuned in for a while, man. You tell me how I'm sloppy today. I mean, I'm just telling y'all facts. One thing about it is, like Keith said, he got to hone and develop his skills. It's just as simple as that. But without the right offensive coordinator, without the right coach coaching him to develop, how is he going to do that? He can do it himself, but it's going to take time. But you need that coach to push you and give you that extra help in the film room to develop like you need to. He has all the arm talent in the world. He's a smart quarterback. But if you don't have the right coach to guide you the right way, I mean, what is he supposed to do? You know, I just want you to tell me how I'm sloppy, because I feel like, you know, I'm cooking to a certain extent. Swats, what's good, my guy? Shout out to Bruce Arians for coaching Peyton Manning up. Absolutely. And he also had Dick Motta. Dick Motta was like 70-something years old, as his offensive coordinator, and Howard Mudd. He had older coordinators, midway through his career in Indianapolis, and they were actually there when Andrew Luck got there. So Peyton Manning, he just learned. He got in the film room, he learned. And as I told y'all, man, sometimes the coach is only as good as his player. Because guess what? You didn't see these problems last year with Kirk Cousins. Why? Because Kirk Cousins was a veteran. He could audible. He could see what's going on the field. And he was really carrying Zach Robinson last year. But we don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all not ready for that conversation. Hey man, they got their own. They got their own opinions, man, and I respect their opinions. I respect Roadmaster opinion. Hey man, look, that's your opinion, man. I respect it. Keith said I agree or disagree, but I don't believe it's that. I think out of a couple games ain't going to take off. I absolutely agree 100%. But absolutely at the end of the day, you still got to have that coach to develop you the right way, man. You do. I said this on the live Sunday when I talked about Matt Ryan, and he was in the league about 7 years when Kyle Shanahan got here. That very first year with Kyle Shanahan was hell for Matt Ryan. They were going at it back and forth. They were going at it. But what do they do that offseason? They go that offseason, get back in the film room. Kyle Shanahan learns Matt Ryan's weaknesses and started to use his strengths to his advantage. Matt Ryan was one of the better quarterbacks with the no huddle. He was one of the better quarterbacks in the play action, and he was one of those guys, one of the best clutch fourth quarter quarterbacks in the league. So what do? They go back to the drawing board, figure out what Matt Ryan do well. In that very second season, Kyle Shanahan and Matt Ryan win the MVP. So it's just all about coaching, man. It's all about coaching. So that let me know that that lets me know if Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan can get on the same page and figure this thing out, Zach Robinson and Michael Penix can too. But at the same time, look, I'm telling you, if Zach Robinson is not worried about that Oklahoma State job, I feel like he can focus more on what's going on in Atlanta. I just think his mind is just elsewhere at this point.
So you feel like that he is like on his Shanahan, you know what I'm saying, worried about the head coaching job before worried about, actually like finishing the season?
He got no choice but to finish the season. He on the contract. The only way that he gets out faster than that, they fire him, and that's a possibility. But who's going to replace him? That's what I keep saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, do you feel like that he's worried more so about another job like Shanahan, more so than worrying about what he could be doing?
But you remember I said that yesterday. That could be the problem. But he's got a contract with Atlanta, so this is what he needs to be focused on. He could be worried about that, but take care of what's at hand first. But Roadmaster, he said, as a player, how much coaching do you need at the NFL level? You're going to need coaching to the point where you can reciprocate the same thing back and forth as to what you see on the field. And that's what I'm saying. Last year, Zach Robinson's first year offensive coordinator, but he had a veteran quarterback in Kirk Cousins that could read the field, audible, do what he need to do to get out of this play and, call this play, hot routes. He didn't have to worry about that. Well, Michael Penix, he does. And you're going to need coaching till you get to that point to where you and the offensive coordinator are on the same page. That's all I'm saying. And I think Michael Penix is a good little ways from that. Why? Because he's still basically a rookie after 6 games. Even though he's been here a year, he's still basically a rookie. And y'all said it in the chat. Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yeah, can't blame it on Penix, man. I believe, honestly, I feel like it should go more so to the offensive coordinator, to the head coach, because we've seen Michael Penix. I can understand if we've seen Michael Penix come out there and throwing pick after pick. I can see if Michael Penix was looking like Daniel Jones with New York. then I wouldn't have any gripes. I'd be like, yeah, we may not have the right guy. But right now, I've seen games last year, and they even talked about it on the podcast, that games last year, Michael Penix looked different. Games this year, Michael Penix looks different, but not in a good way. So it's like
that's a backstep in coaching, man. And Karen makes a great point, man. She said, "Look at the resurgence of Baker Mayfield," and this is an awesome, example. If you remember him in Cleveland, he did set the record for touchdown passes by a rookie, which was broken by Justin Herbert, I think. But look at what he did in Cleveland, how they gave up on him, and he ended up getting the right coaching. He goes to LA in less than a week, just with the right coaching, and wins a comeback football game. Then he goes to Tampa after Tom Brady has a good offensive coordinator that knows how to teach us the game and puts him back on the right track. What has he done since?
And look at the Bucs, though, bro.
Look at the
Bucs, though.
Listen, though, this is what he's done. He's led the NFL in touchdown pass the last 2 years. So you mean to tell me that's not about coaching and that's more about Baker Mayfield? No, that's more about coaching than it is about Baker Mayfield. And they found out how to use his talents. What do they do? What is he good at? He's good on the run. He showed y'all against Atlanta in that very first game. He's good at throwing the deep pass. He's good at finding his receivers. It was all about timing, coaching, and all of that. And when Michael Penix he can have that same type of impact. That's all. Look, it's coaching.
No, all I was saying was about Baker. I feel like his journey, really started with those Rams. Getting there in there with Sean McVay, and Sean McVay believing in him, letting him do his thing, letting him get his confidence back. That really helped. Then you go to Tampa, and there was an opportunity. We could have got Baker, but we didn't want to take the opportunity on him. I understand. So he goes to Tampa. He's now on his third offensive coordinator, and they're still clicking on all cylinders. And they kind of look better now than they did with the previous two coordinators.
Yeah.
So again, going back to coaching again, we're seeing what other teams are doing. Like his third offensive coordinator. Think about all the times that Matt Ryan had offensive coordinators, coordinator, and Matt Ryan would be one of those guys that still, but the coordinator wouldn't always be right.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Dirk Cutter, Steve Sarkisian, Kyle Shanahan, Smitty Sports Machine, got Chris Moore. We all done been coordinators for Matt Ryan at this point.
Right.
It just happened. But at the end of the day, it's coaching.
Yeah. He said, y'all talking like this ain't the Falcon team that was one kick away from beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But guess what? The coach let us down that game too. Because
it didn't happen though.
They only ran for 48 yards that game. But see, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying it didn't happen.
As a coach, as an offensive coordinator, has Zach Robinson produced a complete game yet since he's been with the Falcons? The only game that I can think of is probably that Giants game where Michael Penix played last year, and one of those Bucs games. I think it was the Bucs game that we won in Tampa. Those were the only two games, complete game that I saw. Because why? In that Tampa game last year, he got the best out of the run game, and Kyle Pitts was doing his thing the whole game. And see, that's the thing. When you use your weapons the proper way, more wins are going to come. And it's still hard for Zach Robinson to do that right now. So is he the offensive coordinator of the future for this team? That I don't know. But at this present moment, I still think he's still developing himself. And I'm just being fair with it. I can't put all the blame on Michael Penix. I can't put all the blame. Well, I can put most of the blame on Raheem Morris because he's the head guy and he's sitting in, the coaching meetings and he's watching this. And is he going to make a change? I doubt it. Why? Because he's got to stick to what he brought in.
I mean, you got to at this point because we're already doing a lot of flip-flopping and to the public eye, we're doing a lot of moves. Just like example, Ike Hilliard being gone. And guys love Ike Hilliard. Yeah. I mean, we know that, but guys loved Ike Hilliard. That's the point that I'm making. They loved Ike Hilliard. Since Ray McLeod said that was the best coach that I ever had. and you're using him as a scapegoat because you're trying to figure out what can you do next. It's similar to how it was back in Tampa when he took over the defensive coordinator duties from Jim Bates. And, you know, saying he had to make a change. Things weren't going on.
You breaking up. You breaking up.
Like, you still got it. Like, yeah, my bad. No, I was saying, but at the end of the day, you know, we're doing things similar to how it was back when he was in Tampa. We're already firing guys. We're firing guys that people enjoyed working with. Like I said, Ray McLeod said Ike Hiller was his favorite coach. So many guys like Ike Hiller. I'm telling you, it's going to be felt that even though he was just a wide receiver coach, at the end of the day, he was a guy that used to play the game, a guy that could give our guys little nuggets here and there because they're still trying to figure things out. And now you don't have that anymore. You know, it's just like, we're going to have to see what happens on Sunday. How will these guys respond? I'm hoping that these guys are going to be able to pick themselves up off the mat, you know what I'm saying, shake the cobwebs out, and come back out swinging again. That's
Bello,
what I'm really hoping.
Like Bello sound like you said. You sound like a robot.
Oh yeah, man. Robo A1, man. My bad. No, man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm in a real bad area though, man. For anybody who know the wooded side of like Whitesburg and Noonan and all that stuff like that, I'm like all out in that area right now. So it's terrible. So I apologize, but I thank y'all for bearing with me.
Kyle, great point. We're gonna close on this. Kyle said, I think Penix looked solid in both the Tampa and Minnesota game. That Carolina game was just a bad game, and I mean bad. He will bounce back. Just hope our organization doesn't fail him, and that's all we saying. The coaching staff don't fail him because it can happen. I mean, look, this is Raheem's second go around as a coach, and it seems like some things he just still hasn't learned. Even though he said he learned a lot from being on that championship team in Los Angeles with the Rams, but Sean McVay was the head coach, not Raheem Morris. But let's see what he's learned and see can he bounce back, because this Washington game is going to be key. And after Washington, it's the bye week, then it's Buffalo. And hey, we might just live stream the game and just talk the whole game so y'all can get an idea of how we feel as the game goes on. But we thinking about it. But Kyle, thanks for that comment. Very good comment, my brother. But yeah, that's a shout out to the Dixon Way, man. Shout out to the Dixon Way, man. Y'all please go check them out. Larry and Shonda Dixon, man, they give y'all play-by-play. Turn them announcers down and turn Dixon Way up, man. But he said Raheem is a serious coach. I had high hopes for Raheem. Ike was a scapegoat, so we won't fire Zach Robinson. I hope it works out. Commanders missing a quarterback, 2 receivers, and a tight end. We better not lose. And look, it could still happen. Also, shout out to Tony Wright, man. Shout out to Tony Wright. Need to get Algier more carries and mix up Bijan Robinson with the running and passing. But Bijan out in the slot like San Francisco does Christian McCaffrey. Tony, I could definitely see that. But we know he's going to get the football if nobody else don't. But Keith, man, thank you for testing my knowledge. I truly appreciate it, my brother. No hard feelings. You got your opinion, and I love it, man, to go, to get better and go back and forth. And also to the Roadmaster, man. Thank both of y'all, man, for coming through. Truly appreciate it, man. Truly appreciate it. But your boy got the road, man.
All y'all. We love all y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah. I mean, y'all opinion. I'm gonna bite back, man. Trust me. I'm just not one of those ones that you're just gonna say, hey, oh yeah, you right. If you're right, I'm gonna give you your credit. If you're not right, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. And that just the art of debating, man. It's just about having fun and being respectful, man. And y'all said what y'all had without being disrespectful, and I respect that. But Kyle, thank you for coming through, my brother. Thank you. And like Larry said, man, y'all smash the like button, hit that notification bell to A1 Forever and to Smitty Sports Machine, as we're gonna keep this thing rolling, man, because it's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get up at the end of the day. And if you can keep getting up and keep fighting back, it's gonna change. Trust me. But for my boy A1, this your boy Antoine Smith. We're gonna roll on out, man, because we want y'all to enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. And look, we're gonna check the temperature in the room. We're gonna check the temperature in the room, whether it's tonight or whether it's tomorrow, or it could just be Sunday after the game. But trust me, we're gonna see y'all soon. Hope y'all have a good weekend. And
Yeah.
Atlanta Falcons. Can y'all get up? Hey, we'll see. But we're gonna holler at y'all, man. Right? We're gonna holler at y'all, man. Peace.